Little I'm digressing from what we were discussing so far. Mauzobab, the idea of India, which I think that's a more relevant subject than ever today. Shall I say, idea called India, do you think as a writer it is under threat? You have seen many regime changes. I mean, you are almost 70 plus years. You have seen Portuguese regime, then the Congress regime and the BJP regime, whatever. We have recently concluded elections. What do you make of the present political scenario? But I don't want to discuss politics into it, but can you, what do you have to say about, is idea called India under threat at the given time?
See,
you said in your one of your article, just to interrupt you, divided we are, we stand united as one, which is a pretty nice slogan to keep us together. Please.
you see, at home, when you have four brothers, all four brothers have different voices. They speak in different voices. But when the outer threat is there, we all become one. Yeah. So this is precisely what is happening in India also. So it's unfortunate that whenever you criticize or take objection to censor something, you are immediately branded as you belong to the opposition, this party and that party. For your information, I was never with any one party. When during the emergency, I was among other writers who took to street to fight out it. But then today again, we have to come to streets because there is a threat to freedom of expression. For us, we have been brought up with some particular idea of India. And that idea of India is thrashed again and again and again. That is what is bothering us. Yeah. When I say us, I'm not saying me alone. Yeah, that is everyone around, particularly in the writers' community. I sense it. And I think somebody has to speak out. So probably, and I can't speak, I can't keep quiet when I get agitated. Yeah. So that is the reason. But then I sincerely feel that there is a threat to the India as perceived by us over so many years. Now the Constitution of India, for me it's a book, it's a holy book. Yeah. I won't respect as much my Gita or a Bible or any other book. Yeah, yeah. For me, Constitution is my Bible. Constitution is my Gita. And the Constitution is the holy book for me. And I think so it should be for every Indian. Yeah. But unfortunately, all the principles of justice and equality and all are under threat. And just see around and nobody is repenting over it. Yeah. The lynchings that happen, whatever you feel, supposing I am very much angry with you, I have no right to slap you. Yeah. And here lynchings are happening and nobody is speaking out about it. Yeah. That was very much making us upset. Yeah. So today, I hope better sense will prevail upon the dispensation, and we only have to hope. Of course, the verdict that we see in the present polls is the verdict of the people. Yeah. We have to respect it. But also, our people at the dispensation should realize they also have some responsibilities given to them. Yes. So if they carry out their responsibility responsibly, then we don't have any threat. Yeah. But in view of the Constitution, if they dispense their authority, then there should be no problem. But there is a threat which is perceived. There is a public perception of this threat to the idea of India.
Jayant Bab, the plurality of existence of plural cultural.
See, I had gone to China once for some poetry exchange program. Chinese fried rice. So we went there. Then wherever painters I saw, wherever I go, William, the obsession with their is bamboo.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, bidiru. Yeah. Any Chinese painter will draw bamboo with green leaves and foliage, and the bamboo which is outside here also. Yeah, yeah. So it is, I asked one writer, why that every painter is drawing this, whether it is very holy or something. He said one very nice thing. He said, bamboo is so thin, but when the storm comes,
Hmm.
big trees fall, but bamboo meadow stays intact
Yes.
because they are together.
Yeah.
It is such a nice image because we are all individually thin.
Yeah.
But Bidiru Mele, the full, what you call it in English.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is together. That's why it is not uprooted.
Yeah, uprooted.
So that's how it is. That's why, again, this goes to my earlier point. Person isolated from society.
Yeah.
He is responsible for this. Because people are not part of his experience.
Yeah.
Our rhetorics have to change. That's why I like films, I like Yakshagana, I like circus, I like fads, Jatre, Teru, because where people all come together.
Yes.
Now you go to marriage pandals, there also youth is missing. Children don't come for marriages. Because there will be some elders like us asking, what are you doing after PUC? Then he will tell, I to Nanu idu MBA ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Immediately, scope enta untu.
Yes.
Scope malari money.
Yeah.
So people are scared to meet another person because these questions come. So the film, that's why I say, whatever we say, if at all India is united, I am not telling this because I am a lyric writer now.
Yeah.
It is not united by any Gita or Bible or
Yes.
Quran.
Yes.
India is emotionally united by film songs.
Yes. That's true.
From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to this side, everybody knows what is film songs have united. They have kept us united emotionally together.
Yes.
So film theaters, bus stands, train journeys, public commuting together, that is the rhetoric of India.
Togetherness.
Togetherness. Now see, going in bus, people feel very, bus you should have a vehicle,
Yeah.
individual vehicle. See, then you are isolated like a soap in a soap box.
Yes.
You go on diminishing. You never know.
Nice metaphor.
So I think that's how that it's a very connected thing.
Yeah.
And the current scenario, I only have one image. That is a snake and ladder game.
Yeah.
I always like it, that metaphor, snake and ladder. How ata. See, our entire evolution is a big snake and ladder game.
Yeah.
In that evolution, human evolution, social evolution, everything. Everywhere you get small ladders. At the same time, you get snakes. And you go, like all thinkers, whether it is Shankaracharya, Basavanna, Dasaru, Marx, Ambedkar, everybody, any great thinkers are all ladders. Then division, all divisive elements, caste system and class, all these things are all snakes. And you see, as the game goes up, ladder size becomes small. Snake size becomes bigger and bigger. And you are almost on the 97 पे एक बहुत बड़ा snake रहता है. From there to here. And that snake is a metaphor of this caste, class, all these divisions and, dogma, ill-treating women, still man, not all human evil, whatever is there. That is that. So after coming this far, if that snake bites you, you will go straight way back to Stone Age again.
Yes.
Again you have to start. So I think we have to be very, very careful.
You have
About
summed up
what
it
it-
very
yes,
nicely.
yeah.
Very nicely. As a final this thing, I mean, the both of Gandhi is very essential to idea called India's continuing the same this thing. But these days, even he is threatened in a way. I don't know whether he'll remain in the soul of India or will just depart. If there is no Gandhi, I feel there is no India. What do you have to say about that? This is the last question. Then the floor is open for question and answer session.
Probably in the history of India, you will not find a figure like Gandhi, whom any Tom, Dick and Harry come to rise in the state and give gali or call good words or bad words. There is no other figure and nobody will object to him. Somebody, maybe father will tell son, don't speak like that. But then Mahatma Gandhi is one thing, one person, one ideology which is criticized right from beginning, even today. And that proves his greatness, because it is never ending. Once you criticize and demolish, no, he doesn't get demolished. People can criticize him, they keep criticizing him. That is the greatness of this great man. It's unfortunate that we are today, there is no, the other way is not, other voice is not being heard. We can only hear one voice that keeps on, thrashing on his ideology, his ways and all that. I personally, I am not a great admirer of Mahatma Gandhi. Yes, I admire his greatness during those days. Today, how relevant he is a questionable, it is questionable.
Yeah.
But then, for me, if anybody calls him names, it's immaterial.
Immaterial.
But without stooping down
Yeah.
that low, we can criticize him. It's unfortunate that for those people who have not read Mahatma Gandhi, who have not read Gandhi, understood Gandhi, who have not thought about his ideology, yet they criticize.
Yeah.
This is very bad. Once you know Gandhi, you have every right to say, yes, he was right, or yes, he was wrong. You have to attain that right. Once you gain that right, then you have the right to criticize.
Jain Bab.
Yeah, this is the problem with our idol thing, Even Gandhi, moment you make an idol, moment you convert a person into idol, it is taking him away from us actually.
Yeah.
Again put him a har and again away he is. So as long as he is part of us in the day-to-day, our, this thing, as long as you are compassionate, your Gandhi is around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think majority of the people are fine.
Yeah.
The same thing has happened. Sorry,
Yeah.
same thing has happened to Jesus Christ. He was against the temples. He was against idol worship.
Yeah.
But today people have churches
Yeah. And idols.
and idols. And what about our Buddha, Bhagavan Buddha?
Yeah.
Buddha was against criticizing the idol worship. He was against rituals. Now Buddhists are following rituals. So
Yes.
this keeps on evolving and changing. Same thing with Mahatma Gandhi's ideology. It will
The
probably
main thing
happen.
is, people forget that Gandhiji, see, I telling many people who take VRS, I am also one of the VRS project. At the age of 45 or 50, you take VRS. Actually, the Gandhiji, whom we adore, who brought such a big thing, that Gandhiji was born at his age of 52.
Yes.
See, we forget that. See, it's such a thing. It's a retirement benefit scheme age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why should he bother?
Yeah.
And how much he did, people don't realize. People just talk forward. I tell you, forward. He was, you see any Gandhi's picture, you see either he is spinning the
wheel.
leaf or he is writing,
Yeah.
walking or talking. And he's, I think nobody in the history has written the letters as much as Gandhi has written.
Yeah.
And letter of debate.
Yeah.
He has differences of opinion with Vallabhbhai Patel, with Rabindranath Tagore,
Yeah.
with so many people, with Nehru.
Yeah.
Those letters are huge. He was continuously dialogue was. See, the point is, for me, he's a big metaphor for dialogue.
Yeah.
I want to see you say something, I say something. Let us
then,
get
yeah.
the dialogue.
Yeah.
So that will be there. That should be there. As long as that is there, Gandhi is there.
Yeah.
As long as compassion is there,
Yeah.
Gandhi is there.
Yeah. Thank you for that wonderful session. I'm sure that you have shed light on many things that we were not in the know of.